Hey guys, my name is Ryan. I'm a tutor in the Econ Tutoring Center. Today I'm going to talk about cross-price elasticity, and we're going to do a couple examples of calculating cross-price elasticity with this midpoint formula. Remember that the language and notation, in particular in this case, this formula might be different between the professors that you're using, so always check to make sure that this is the same notation that your professor is using. Okay, so I'm going to do two examples, one with goods that are complements and one with goods that are substitutes, and then we can maybe see the difference. So first of all, what the cross-price elasticity means is that when the price of good 2 changes, what's the effect on the demand for good 1? So that's what this formula tells us. It's the percentage change in quantity for a given percentage change in price of the other good. So we have good 1 and good 2. So the way I write this here actually, maybe I'll move this up to the superscript because that's how I write it here, is that this is the demand at point 2 for good 1. So the superscripts say which good it is. So this is the price of good 2, this is the demand for good 1. And this is, after a price change. And this is the resulting change in demand. Okay, so I'm going to give 2 examples here. One with peanut butter and jelly, which are complements, and then another with Coke and Pepsi, which we assume to be substitutes. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get prices for peanut butter, right, and then let's look at demand for jelly. Right, okay, let's say that the price of peanut butter goes up from 1 to 2, and let's say that then the result, because the price of peanut butter has gone up, that the demand for jelly goes down from 5 to 4. Okay, and let's use this formula to calculate what the cross-price elasticity then is. Okay, so the first thing to simplify calculations, these 1/2s are going to cancel because you multiplied 1/2 on the top and bottom, so they cancel. So what we're really going to calculate is d2 minus d1. So d2 being 4, so that's going to get us, so this is, I'll call this elasticity. That's going to be, d2 is going to be this 4 minus d1, which is 5, divided by the price of good 2, which is peanut butter, which is 2 minus 1. Right, remember I said the 1/2s cancel, so now we just multiply by this. The sum of the prices is 3, and the sum of the demand is 9. So this gets us, this should be -1 over 1 times 1/3, which is going to get us -1/3 is our cross-price elasticity. So that should always be true when they're complements. You should always end up with a negative cross-price elasticity. Whereas with substitutes, as you'll see in a second, you should end up with a positive cross-price elasticity. So what it's saying is that when the price of peanut butter goes up, you're going to demand less jelly because you want peanut butter and jelly together. So you're going to demand also less peanut butter, you would assume, but less jelly because they are complements. Okay, so let's do a second example now here. And let's say instead of peanut butter, that we have Coke and Pepsi. In this case, because we assume they're substitutes, the demand for Pepsi should actually go up, right? Because you're substituting away from the good that became more expensive, which is Coke. Okay, so now when we calculate this cross-price elasticity, we're going to have the same, we'll use the same formula here, but we'll get, say elasticity is going to be equal to d2 minus d1, which is going to be 6 minus 5, p2 minus p1, which is 2 minus 1, times the sum of the prices, which is 3, divided by the sum of the demand, which is 11. Right, and this becomes 1, that becomes 1, and then that's just 3 over 11. Right, so that gives us 3 over 11 as our cross-price elasticity. Okay, so this number is positive, whereas the other number is negative, again, because these are substitutes. So notice where you get the positive and negative comes from this part here, whereas this was 4 minus 5 last time, and this time it's 6 minus 5, so it becomes positive. And the idea is that demand is going up when price goes up, when the price of Coke goes up, whereas in the other case, demand of jelly went down when the price of peanut butter went up. So that's the main difference between complements and substitutes. And that's how we can use cross-price elasticity to determine whether or not goods are substitutes or complements. We can just look at the sign of the elasticity. Okay, so I hope that gave you a better idea of how cross-price elasticity works and why it's useful. If you have any more questions, come visit us in the Econ Tutoring Center.